And welcome back. And we are getting ready to move into our second segment for today. We have joining us Stephanie Harris-Uyidi.
Yes.
She is a host of a travel adventure cooking TV show called the Posh Pescatarian.
Right.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
And welcome to Belize as well.
Thank you. It's my first time here in the country. Actually, my first time in Central America.
Wow.
And I've always wanted to visit Belize, and this was just the right timing.
You chose the best country of Central America.
I think I did.
Yeah.
I think I did.
So Stephanie, let's start off by finding out a bit more about you. You are a TV show host, but you started off by just creating, moving into the pescatarian lifestyle for yourself.
I did.
And that kind of evolved from there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so about 16 years ago, I was having some stomach trouble. I was working in the music industry. I had a really exciting life in Los Angeles, and it was one summer, over the course of one summer, I wasn't feeling really well. I was having some stomach trouble. And I went to see a naturopath, and she put me on a cleanse, a broth-based and a few fruits cleanse for a few weeks. Which was a little rough, and I lost some weight, and I discovered some things about myself. But the other thing that I learned is that as we slowly reintroduce things back into my diet, that a plant-based diet supplemented with seafood was really the way for me to go. And that's my definition of a pescatarian.
So it's vegetarian, but you eat seafood.
That's exactly right.
So why didn't you stop at vegetarian?
Because I couldn't give up fish.
I can understand that.
Totally. I mean, I grew up with a family that loves to fish. My dad, my uncles, now my nephews and my nieces, they're all going out and they're catching fish.
Yeah.
I like to fish as well. I think it must have been a few months ago I had a chance to go on an adventure for my show in San Diego where I caught 10 yellowtail that were about this size, and I got to take them all home, and I cooked some up fresh, made some ceviche, and then put the rest in the freezer for later.
What do you avoid by only eating fish as opposed to the other kinds of meat?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think primarily what I'm avoiding is the harshness to my system that it takes to process meat. So fish is very light on my system, right? So you can enjoy it and you don't really feel the results of it having eaten it 10 minutes later. Big chicken meal or maybe pork or beef, you're going to feel that later on in the day and can make you a little bit sluggish.
Yeah.
The health benefits of fish are also a lot more beneficial than other meats.
Yeah.
So omega-3 fatty acids, all of those kinds of things. And those acids can actually help stave off things like depression and anxiety. We just learned about erectile dysfunction, all of these things that it can benefit you from.
Yeah, fish is brain food.
Yeah,
That's what a lot of people don't realize.
Yes.
But, you know, going from being able to move into this lifestyle for yourself, and then you started to do your YouTube show.
That's right.
What was the reaction that made you realize that I really have a larger message to spread?
Yeah, so I started doing YouTube because people kept asking me for my recipes. And, you know, it's kind of cumbersome writing things down and saying, okay, yeah, mix half of that, but blah, 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 taste it first.
Yeah.
So cooking's an art, right? It's that's what I actually love about cooking versus baking is I can just get in here and play.
I'm with you.
So I started doing YouTube, and I have a background as a producer, so I did everything. I did camera work, I edited, I did music. It was an experiment and a little rough in the beginning, but I got through it. And the response was really fantastic. And I started getting some calls from TV networks who were like, oh, hey, we don't have anybody who actually focuses on seafood. So then that process of actually, the seed was planted for actually having a show.
Yeah.
And a few years later, I started producing my own show, and I sold it.
A show that you clearly had your own vision for because you turned down the Food Channel.
Yeah, Food Network is actually the first channel that called me.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, we love you. And so we started talking, and we had a couple of differences in opinion about the direction of the show.
Yeah.
And so I just took it and ran.
Yeah.
So something that money couldn't fix?
No.
Man, for me, you make that check and put another zero on there. We can talk about.
Well, that may be part of the problem. Lots of zeros.
So we have actually some cooking to get into, and we'll keep on talking. So.
Okay. So what I've done is present to you a few recipes that actually use the same ingredients for each dish. So we're going to go from supper to a little bit of a light snack to a beverage that uses the same ingredients. And those ingredients you can find on this table, and you can actually customize it as you go. We've got pineapple. All of these ingredients are local. Pineapple, cilantro, ginger, orange. That is a lime, red onion, and it's mango season here, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I loaded up on mangoes. If I can get them in my bag before I take off, I'm doing it. They are my favorite. So I'm actually going to start down this way.
Okay.
Okay,
And
awesome.
we've got our little plate on, and what I've got is some local snapper.
You have the featured ingredient for
I
today.
do.
Red snapper,
That's
yeah.
red snapper. And so what I've
Hey,
done.
fisherman.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a fisherman?
Did you?
No, actually, I was telling Marlene when we started off that I couldn't define what my eating lifestyle is until I read your segment.
Oh.
Because I am a pescatarian.
Yeah.
You better practice saying the word
Yes,
too, right?
I'm just not posh. I'm not posh, but
That's okay. What about you, Marlene? What's your eating style?
I eat fish and chicken and sometimes meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. My
Yeah.
family does for the most part. I've got a few pescatarians in my family. This is local snapper. We prepared it in a very traditional way. We would just squeeze some lime juice over it to keep it fresh. I'm just going to make sure I'm not too hot here. And if we're lucky, by the time we're done with this segment, we're going to be able to eat this fish.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to pop
Fingers
it
crossed.
in. Fingers crossed. And I've got the lime in here just to make sure that it's got all nice and flavorful exactly inside.
Marinated.
That's right. And I've slid it so that it doesn't pucker. So we're in good shape here. And this marinated overnight.
wow.
So I'm just going to put this whole thing in here. Ordinarily, I would remove the head and the tail and save it for some soup. But today, for presentation purposes, we want people to see this whole fish. And if I'm lucky, it won't snap on me and pop on me.
But in Belize, we eat the head too.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
Yeah, it's
people
important.
quite enjoy it.
It's good eats, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm going to grab that napkin from you.
Sure.
So I don't have fishy fingers.
So talk to us about how your travel adventure led to Belize.
Travel adventure let's. I'm in season 2 of my show.
Yes.
Season 1 is on the air all over the place and actually starts airing in the Caribbean in July, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
And I was looking for new, fun, exciting places to go for season 2. And a lot of people are curious about Belize, but they haven't made the leap to get down here and explore and experience. They typically go to Cancun, they'll go to other places. But
Yeah.
Belize was like this new adventure for me. And I started talking, and actually my fixer, my local guy who's helping me put all this stuff together, used to work here at Channel 5.
Yes.
Wow.
So he was able to give me this really great information about the country, talk to me about all the wonderful things, and he really sold me on the idea.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up here. And fate just matched, and my audience was really excited about it, and I thought, okay, that's where we're going next.
But how did you find out about Belize?
I've always known about Belize. I'm
Okay.
from California.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, you know, you
amazing.
kind of make that connection around, Central Americas, right?
Yeah.
So I've done Mexico. I've been to Mexico a million times. I wanted to experience Central America and do something a little bit different. And the blue hole is actually what kind of went ding, ding, ding. I like to dive. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do the blue hole. And then I thought, well, there's something else that's interesting me. And that was spearfishing for lionfish.
Oh.
So
yeah.
lionfish, I heard, is
Yeah.
an invasive species,
Yes,
right? It's a
yes.
problem. So what we're going to do in Keecocker, I keep saying K-cocker because of the way that it's spelled, but it's Keecocker, right? Keecocker, and we're gonna go fishing for lionfish, and we're gonna cook it up on the boat.
You're going to learn how to clean it properly.
That's-
'cause that's the delicate part.
Absolutely
Yeah.
right. Absolutely right. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, we have a couple of programs too. The Fish Right, Eat Right, encouraging restaurants to use to have sustainable use of fishes
That's right.
as well.
And that's
Yeah.
really important. Sustainability in Belize is a big deal,
Yeah.
right? You've got seasons. It's conch season now.
Yeah.
You've got lobster season coming up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really, really important.
This is probably the perfect marriage for your diet and our country because we have the largest barrier reef on this side of the world.
Yes.
And so we have an abundance of fish species and marine species. I know that you were saying that one of the challenges when you first started out was not eating the same kind of fish over and over.
That's right.
You could move to Belize, it would work.
Listen, is this your first invitation? I'm sure you've had many.
I have. And it's a good thing. When I was talking to your producers about the show,
Yeah.
I'm going to start showing you how to
Yes.
do the mango salsa. I was told, hey, we eat a lot of fish here, so you're going to
Yes.
have to figure out, how to present this in a way that's going to interest people and show them something new. So hopefully this is something at least not new, but shows you a quick way to make this food.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things to make is a mango salsa. Mangoes are big in California. And what I like about it is that you can customize it and mix and match the flavors as you will. So
Yeah.
do you prefer more mango to onion to
More
lime?
mangoes.
More mangoes.
That's
What about
me.
you?
I like the cilantro.
Wow, okay.
Lady wins.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So ordinarily I would use a bowl, but for now I'm going to use this plate, and we're just
Yeah.
going to put all that in there. I'm going to give it a little bit of squeeze of lime just to help everything blend in.
Let me turn up that fish.
Okay,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Let me do that. Need a man in the
Proving
kitchen.
that you know something in
Yes.
the kitchen now.
Marlene, would you mind giving me a few sprigs of cilantro there?
Sure.
And we're going to team up on this. And hopefully this fish, fingers crossed, will get cooked. If not, you will experience the other things that I've got going for you.
Now
So-
this is great because you could use other fruit with it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pineapple goes great in here. I've got avocado. That's an option if you're interested in this. And what I love about this is you can eat it with chips, just as a kind of a scoop in taste, or you can actually add it to a fish for the topping.
Nice.
That's one of my favorite things to do. And if all goes well, the flavors will meld here, and you've got this really fun, fresh, delicious salsa.
So
Super easy.
substituting the tomatoes, that's essentially what you're doing here with the salsa.
That's right. Substituting tomatoes. Tomatoes are fruit, so any fruit will do in this case. I'm gonna have you taste this if you don't mind.
Oh.
How about it?
Hell
Now,
yes.
I could imagine that
Yeah.
at this time, vegetarian, veganism, it's trending, it's more mainstream, and people are doing it maybe not just because of health reasons, but because it's popular. So that means that you also have a great opportunity to be able to teach people about this alternative lifestyle as people are trying to get healthy.
Absolutely.
Have you seen a shift in interest since it's become more mainstream?
I've seen people trying it for varying periods of time.
Yeah.
And to help combat that, what I've done is start a Facebook group called the 2018 Pescatarian Challenge, which is a lot of fun. And newbies to the industry are coming, or newbies to this lifestyle are joining the page and really giving me some insight about what they're looking for in terms of the pescatarian diet and how I can help them transition. How was that salsa?
It is awesome.
Okay.
It is. It's like I'm expecting to, because we're used to conch ceviche.
Yes.
But it's like you don't miss the conch. It's the sweetness and the tartness and the citrusiness of the mango is amazing.
And the cilantro in there
It's
as
all
well.
fresh, it's power food.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. So I've got something else for you. It's a little libation.
Woohoo!
So if I'm going to scoot on over to this side of the table, and what I really love about this part of the world is that you've got all these fresh vegetables and fruits that are appealing and just make your eyes pop.
I thought you were going to say that you like this part of the world because we have rum.
Well, that too, that too. And that was a key ingredient for what I used. I got a recommendation for this rum, and I got inspired to make a rum punch, one of my favorite things to do. And what I like about a rum punch is that you can pretty much throw anything in there, and it's going to taste good, as long as you give everything time to kind of sit and relax in your fridge. So what we have in here are primarily the same ingredients that we have in that salsa. We've got lime, we've got pineapple, we've got mango, we've actually got some ginger for a little bit of a bite. And I'm gonna pour you a glass and let's see, if we're ready for that. I know it's early, I know it's the morning show.
Stick around for segment 3, get there.
Are you both gonna have a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll all three cheers.
Only if you force me to.
Oh, I'm forcing you at this point.
Yeah.
This is me getting...
No, I don't want any. No, please, no.
All right, cheers to a really fun segment and really good day.
Awesome.
Now, what type of juice did you use?
So I used a tropical blend, something that you can find easily here in any of the stores.
Yeah.
You can also combine this with something like a passion fruit juice or guava. I also use a little coconut water. Coconut water is one of my favorite things ever. You talk about trending things.
Yes.
This was really big for a while,
Yes.
right? But it's always been around in the Caribbean.
Yes.
So people in other parts of the world are just discovering it and paying like $20 a bottle, but not so here.
Yeah.
20 US.
20
And I'm
US.
sure as you came down from the airport, you see that we have it at every stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another way we like to do in California, you please enjoy that.
Oh,
Cheers.
we will. Good. Pura vida.
Is we love these little, these are fun. These are really, you can do a little cute Instagram story on this, right? With these. Is it good?
Yeah. We noticed that you didn't sip. Oh, go ahead.
I'm good.
This is good.
So the fish is cooking, your salsa is made. This was so easy.
Yes.
I think the hardest part is simply cutting it up.
Yes.
Talk to us about some of the ingredients and where you, about the recipes and where you get your inspiration from.
Yeah, so inspiration from all over the world, particularly my travels.
Yeah.
So from Europe to, California to Canada, these are really awesome places that have really great food. And what I like to do is just put my own twist on them. So I would never try to recreate a dish from this region and call it my own.
Yeah.
I would always put my own little twist on it and just kind of help people bridge that gap between things that they consider foreign and bringing things that they traditionally use at home and matching it so that it makes sense. Does that make sense? So
Yeah. It's your own fusion.
Yes.
So are you also going to be exploring some of the different cultures? Because some of the different groups in Belize will use, if you go to the Garifuna restaurant, there's one in Belize now,
Yes.
makes it
Just
easier.
recently opened.
You can get a great hudud, which features fish and coconut.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm doing while I'm here. I'm headed to Key Cocker. We're gonna have this real. I keep saying that. I know. We're headed to Key Cocker to have a really fun adventure, sort of hunting for lionfish. We're gonna make some ceviche. We're gonna do a little bit of barbecue, tour the city. Then I'm headed to Hopkins Village. And I'm doing a tour with the Garifuna.
Yes.
And we're going to make some cassava bread. We're going to make the stew. I'm going to do a little drumming. If I have too much rum, I'm going to do a little dancing.
That will make it a lot easier.
I think so. I'm going to turn this fish now.
Oh, let me.
Kevin can do it.
Please.
Let a man do it.
Yes. He can get
We'll move
splattered on.
We'll move on.
Is this an ongoing discussion?
Yes.
I can tell. What are some of your favorite dishes to make that are local and traditional?
Ceviche.
Ceviche.
I love ceviche. Conch ceviche specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're in conch season now, right?
Yes.
So you're probably up to your, okay.
There's also a conch soup, which is very good. And I can't go. I hope Brett takes you to get some hudut because
Yes.
it's a very wholesome. It's very simple, easy to make. It's a recipe, but the flavors are so rich, and you can actually, in your hudut, you can actually put other kinds of seafood. You can put fish, you can put conch, and so it's a very rich and healthy meal.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it, I think.
I'm excited.
A fish swimming in coconut milk. That's as
What could be
delicious
better?
as it gets.
Here, you know, that's interesting that you say that, and that's a traditional Belizean dish, but you can get fish swimming in coconut milk in India. It's so interesting how the world is connected by food.
Yeah.
Right? They're using mangoes and coconut and fish in India, in all parts of the world.
The twist in Belize, you say you like the twist. The twist in Belize
Yes.
is that we have a mortar and we take green and
Ripe,
tern
yeah.
and ripe plantain and we beat it. So part of what you're going to be doing in Hopkins, right,
Yeah.
Brett, is to get her to actually beat. That's a huge
Is that called
part.
fufu?
It's
No,
not.
that's the actual hudud.
Correct.
That's the actual hudud. And
Okay.
then the soup is what you eat it with.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you work for your meal here. It's part of your exercise.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It'll keep you thin, right? Because if you got to cook it, that's you can't just run out to the store and grab it.
So there's also the use of lionfish in ceviche as well, which I know is being promoted, so that people can be able to get to use the lionfish more in
Yes.
recipes. So maybe
right.
you make that as well.
What's your favorite recipe?
I don't have a favorite recipe. People ask me that all the time. I think my favorite recipes in general are things that are fast, quick, and wholesome.
Yeah.
And perfect example of that is this salsa.
Yeah.
Something, few ingredients, put it together, you've got a really great meal.
Yeah.
If you've got some really fresh fish, you can top that salsa with it. So what we get a lot of in the States, and is one of the things that you mentioned earlier about people continuing to eat the same species over and over again, is shrimp. And salmon and tilapia and sometimes cod.
Yeah.
And they're only eating certain parts of this fish. They're only eating the fillet.
Yeah.
We talked about eating the fish head earlier.
Yeah.
A lot of people throw that out. And you're wasting a good quarter of the fish depending on how large it is. And there's some good meat in those cheeks that you dig and you can explore and get that stuff out of there.
My daughter likes the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
now that's
There
a
you
new
go.
one for
That's
me.
what you can try.
I will try that. That will be the difference in what I end up with today. How's that fish looking over there?
It's looking great. I
All
mean,
right.
I'm frightened.
Kevin, I almost believe that you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Well, until it burns, then you're going to realize.
Until you sample it. That's when.
So if there's one thing that I need to do before I leave Belize, Hopkins, or Key Cocker, what would you recommend? What should I do? How should I be spending my time?
Well, I think you should have made the time for the Blue Hole because that's a once-in-a-llifetime experience.
Okay.
Maybe you get the time.
Okay.
The drumming and the puntaing,
Okay.
which we won't get to have you back, but maybe you'll post a video of your punta. I
Sure.
think you'll be able to do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you show me a little bit of that?
It's all in the toes.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm sure you can do
It's in
it.
the waist,
We
Marlene.
gotta get, no, let me
in the
tell
waist.
you that a good Garifuna teacher taught me that if you can't move the hip,
Yeah.
then just focus on pulling your toes.
Okay.
And it's gonna move the hip for you.
All right, so
I do
toes
a
and
fairly
hips, toes
decent
and hips.
punta. If they get the music up, we'll try to show you.
Oh wow! Well, I can pull out my phone. I can.
But you know, as you say, it's, and they did it.
Oh, maybe not traditional punta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's. After you.
Since
Why do I always get stuck teaching punta lessons on TV? This is not the first time.
Let's go. Can I see a little bit just to get me motivated?
So, yes, all the hips.
Yes.
Just hips.
You got it.
Do
a little bit more rum and it's going to be a lot better.
So there we have it. You did your first punta, and you'll get the authentic punta when you have the drumming.
Okay.
Is that the first time you've done punta?
Yes.
Yeah.
No
I've
way.
heard of the music.
Yeah.
I've never experienced it. Maybe I'm doing something that's the punta, but I'm not calling it the punta when I'm at the dance club.
Oh.
But I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure.
All right, so you feel like you got it? You're going to try it now?
I feel like I'm definitely going to try it.
Yeah.
Whether or not I end up keeping it in the episode will depend on how good I look. You know, it's one of those things.
Sorry to tell you, it's already live on TV. But this is such a great experience. You know, Kevin is still trying to cook over
He
there.
is. It's looking good. Are we almost? Is there at least half of it done?
Yeah, it's nice and golden brown,
Yes.
and the chef is doing an excellent job.
Okay.
I think so. It'll be ready in time for lunch, a couple hours, right?
So tell us, when can Belizeans look out to see the episodes that you
yeah.
shoot here?
So this episode and parts of season 2 are scheduled to air at the end of this year, if not the top of the new year.
Okay.
This is my episode 7 and episode 8. Then we're headed to Cuba and a few more places. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Yeah.
You asked the question, and I like the opportunity to answer too.
Sure.
Because you asked what is the one thing I have to do. The one thing I have to do is everything.
So I have to stay here, extend my stay.
But let me
Well,
explain.
he's already invited you to move here, right?
But Belize, you're going to Cuba, and Cuba is a rich culture, but there's a certain amount of limitations to Cuba. It is what it is.
Yes.
Belize somehow is like the best of everywhere right here. So you can actually stay here, get the best of the Keys,
Yeah.
get the best of the forest.
I agree.
But you can get the best of at least 4 or 5 solid and distinct cultures. And when you leave from Belize, you're sure going to be refreshed. And I think the theme of your diet and the theme of your show is to be refreshed, healthy, and clean. And when you leave from here, that is the feeling you should have on the plane. You should be feeling, I'm never going to feel this way again until I come back to Belize next week. So that's what you got to do.
I can do that. I can do that.
what
One
you
of the
gotta
best parts has been the people, and I want to say thank you very much for being so gracious and having me on the show. This was a lot of fun.
Well, we're glad that you stopped in, and we are your first taste. You got in yesterday.
Yes, I did.
We are your first taste of Belize, and I'm sure you're going to be very impressed with everything else. What do you have lined up on your adventure side of the show?
On the adventure side, what we're doing, we're going to go hunting for lionfish. That's a really big deal, and really excited. We're also going to go cave tubing.
Ooh.
And I'm excited about that. Yes. And
Are you driving or flying to Hopkins?
we are driving.
Oh, beautiful. Boca Wina.
Amazing.
Boca Wina, what's that?
Yes, go waterfall rappelling. That's adventure like you've never had before.
Okay, do I need a helmet? And
They'll give you
we can do all that.
everything that you need.
And you know the beautiful thing about cave tubing in Belize, because I've done white river rafting in Costa Rica. What makes it different in Belize is not only the beauty of our forest,
yes.
but the tolerance of the temperature of the water. Because in other countries the water is so cold. In Belize it's just the perfect temperature.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like an
you
outdoor
down.
spa.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
There you go. We have a far more extensive list that we can go through, but I believe we are running out of time.
Okay.
Kevin, you failed to deliver the fish on
No,
time.
it's ready. It's absolutely ready. I swear.
Okay, go ahead and plate, Master.
What do I do with it?
Oh, let's plate this. Okay,
Yeah.
I've got a secret plate here, hidden underneath. Let me help you with that.
You want me to put it on an
There
angle?
is your featured fish.
That's the featured fish, right? With all the little...
Smells so good.
It looks beautiful.
Smell-o-vision.
Maybe a little bit more lime. Do you both want to taste this? Are you willing to do that? Or is it too ceviche-like at this point?
No.
No?
I don't know
should be
because Kevin
amazing.
cooked it.
Kevin cooked it.
You're supposed to be on my side.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good enough. I will, do you eat the skin here?
Yes.
You do, of course, right?
Yes.
We talked about that.
Amazing.
I will leave these
We don't
forks
waste
for
the
you,
fish.
and you can dabble in that
All right,
as you
let's
will. I'm gonna have another sip
We,
of
we,
my
must,
Ladies
punch.
first.
we must trust each other as co-workers, right?
Tasty?
Yes.
I'm a better cook than I might look to be.
All right, Kevin, you can cook again. We've given you permission. And Stephanie will give you all the recipes that you need.
For sure. That's good.
So once again, if people want to be able to see the different episodes of the Posh Pescatarian, where can they get access to it?
Well, they can start by going to my website, poshpescatarian.com, and you can see samples from all of the shows from season 1 and a taste of what's happening for season 2.
Okay.
Look out for it's on the Africa channel here in the Caribbean.
Okay.
It's playing all over the islands specifically, hoping to bring it here to Belize very soon.
Yeah.
And also go to my Facebook page and I'll give you a taste of this episode very soon.
Excellent. Thank you for stopping in, Stephanie.
Yes.
We wish you the best of luck. Have a great time. Do some punta, eat some hudut, and catch some lionfish.
I will. Thanks, guys. I love you, Belize.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we will be back in a few. Stay tuned.
I want to be eating.